So when you've marked your calico, what I suggest you do for this one is where you've marked your grain line on there, fold it over, just crease it down the line, and we're going to offer it up to the mannequin then. Folding it will just give it a little bit of a stronger edge for you to work on. So when you now take it up to the mannequin, that horizontal line that you've drawn across, ensure that that rests on your bust prominence. So you're finding that line first, okay, and matching it up, and then pin it on as you did last time. Pins in, up, and then put your pin back in so you don't catch it on your hand, just in case. Make sure it's still lined up with that centre front of the mannequin. Put your pins in. And because you're working on the alva form and around the bust here, it's going to be difficult for you to put a pin in this area. So I suggest you just make sure that it's nice and taut, but don't pull the fabric. And just ensure that it's lying nice and straight. So one above and one below. Pull the fabric up, down, and then again. And then finish off. Just on the waistline. Now I would like you to fill in now with your pins, because some of these gaps are a little bit too wide. So if you just pop another one in the top, okay, I'm going to suggest we put one in there as well. You don't want to put loads and loads in. I mean, the reason for putting them in is just really to keep your cloth nice and stable. Okay, so you've attached it now to the mannequin there. You've defined your bust prominence point with that line there. You've actually, if you take the fabric up, you've got enough clearance to make sure that you cover the side neck point here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is just have a look at straightening that horizontal across the mannequin. So you're taking it, again, don't push, don't pull, just take it very, very gently across. And with your eye, visual, just ensure that it is level. And what we can do then is find the side seam and just pop a pin in the side seam. Okay? So it's just keeping your fabric up. And what you've got then, you've got fullness that's distributed at the top and at the bottom. Before we carry on with putting your darts in, because that's what we're going to be doing, we need to make sure that our neckline is following the neckline on the mannequin. So if you just take that round very gently, just pop a pin in just to keep it up. But what you're going to have to do, because you're on a curve, you're actually going to have to cut it down to release the calico. So take a little bit of the corner off. Don't go crazy and take loads off. So you're taking that down and you're nipping in. And nip in to where the calico, get some sharp scissors, to where the calico hits that seam line. Alright, when it hits that seam there, it will open up because the calico is finding its way around the neckline. Okay, and work it around. Feel that seam with your fingers and just pop a pin as you're going along, just to keep it in shape. And you can see what's happening with the calico, it's opening up, isn't it? So you need that release really to go in. And like I said, make sure your scissors are nice and sharp because you are using the end of them. And again, we've got that one there. And I'm going to leave it at that because I've hit now that side neck point and it's running quite nice and flat. So I'll just pop an extra pin in that corner there, and I've anchored it now so you can see how the neckline's gone. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to work on putting a dart up here. So you've already defined your horizontal line, you've anchored it at your side seam, you've got this surplus fabric now that you need to get away with. So you're keeping that nice and flat over the armhole, you're holding your fabric as you did when you did the skirts, and you're finding that surplus fabric, and it will automatically take itself down to your bust prominence, and straight away you've found yourself a dart. Okay? You can put that dart wherever you want. I'm just putting it here, conventional place really. I'm just going to pop a pin in there and close it up. If you want to, this is the beauty of modelling, you can put that surplus fabric or take that suppression out wherever you want. Okay? For this exercise, we'd like you just to do the conventional, so you don't get too carried away. And then pull it up. Again, don't pull, don't push, where it just wants to go, and you're pinning your dart in. And you're taking it to the bust prominence. You will need a soft pencil afterwards, and you can then mark, define your bust prominence on there. Likewise, you'll need a soft pencil to draw your dart in as well. I'm just going to put another one on there. Okay. And depending on which way you want your dart to lie, it's a preferential thing this way. Whichever way you want to fold it, whether it's towards the centre front or whether it's towards the side seam, that's up to you. But it will have a bearing on the shape of the dart at the top, so just be mindful of that. And for this one, I think I'm just going to, which way shall I fold it? No, I think I'm going to fold it that way. Just fold it that way. Because you will be cutting this out afterwards, and I'm just going to pop a pin in there on the shoulder line. Alright, so we're all nice and happy and straight and flat around there now. Pop a pin there, and just keep it in shape. Okay. What I'm thinking as well, I'm going to draw around this afterwards. I'm going to do this dart first. I'm going to draw around that afterwards, cut it away slightly, and see if I can get rid of some of that extra fullness there, because there is a little bit on there. So I might just see what I can do. It might not want to go, but I think it's buckling like that because we've got that shape going around there, so it needs to really be trimmed around before we can do it. Okay, so that's your top dart in place. Now your bottom dart, and again, depending on how many, there's a little bit of fullness there, haven't we? I don't like that. Let's move it out of the way. There we go, that's better. I think that was just how I pinned it, and you can see, you know, it does have a bearing on the fullness, how you do pin them. So I've just readjusted that now. And the bottom dart, for the time being, again, you put that where you want, whether you want to put two darts in one dart. Let's try and get that one lined up. It's not. You can put two darts in, one dart. I'm trying to line that up with there. So let's just go for that one. Let's put one dart at the bottom. You could do two, it's up to you. And I'm just going to grab that there and feed that round. And pin it in as you did with the top one. And define that. This might lend itself, because the shape of the mannequin, to two darts at the bottom. I'll just go with one at the moment. Try and separate my pins. Okay, so let's just leave it at that for the time being. Fold this back round, put a pin on the side seam at the moment. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to release the bottom of the calico. it's gone into the waist and it's coming out again now over the hips. So we need to actually cut up, as we did around the neck, as I'm going to do in the armhole, to get that definition, that shape of the bottom. So you can actually see where it wants to go, where it's pulling there. So if you just cut up to the waist, feel where it is, don't go too far up, and just watch you don't cut the tape as well, alright, on the mannequins. Okay, and that's released and it's opened up there. I'm just going to put another one just to make sure. Okay. And if I'm doing that now, I'm actually going to take a little bit more out of that dart at the bottom and have it quite snug. But make sure that your pin finishes on your waistline, don't go down. Okay. And on there as well, it's pulling, I can see it pulling there. So I'm going to just release that. Even though I'm quite close to the side seam, it wants to be released again. Just there, there we go. Okay. And you can now just pin your side seam in proper. There. Alright, we've got everything going. We've got to the stage now where we've pinned the darts in, we've established the waistline, we can define the side seam, we've got the shoulder line. Now what I'd like you to do next is now, if you get a soft pencil, you can, and you've got to feel as you go along. So you're actually drawing in your shoulder line. So you can feel it through, I mean you can refer, just pick it up, the calico. So draw your dots in, okay? So you've got your shoulder line in place. What I'd like you to do as well is just pick your dart up and draw down with your pencil the shape of the dart. You can mark the end then, and then on the other side, if you mark the other side of your dart as well. Right, on that point there, I'm just going to put it. You need to do that because obviously when you take this calico off and you unpin your dart, you've got to know where you're stitching it up to. So that will show you the stitch line of your dart. So that's why you've got to actually draw your dotted line in. So likewise on the bottom, again, finish the point. Remember you're going to be sewing these in as well. So don't worry that there's too much surplus around there because you will get rid of that when you sew your darts in. So draw down to the bottom and draw your waist. I'm going to come at the bottom now of that tape, and again you can feel it through. Leave that dart. You will cut that when you cut it out. Either move your dart to that side or that side, as I did at the top there. Okay, so that's up to you when you actually come to cut it out. For this one I'm going to fold that over that way. Move your dart to the other side and draw it in on that side. Okay, so I've got my dart in there and I'm drawing my waist in as well. You can tidy this up afterwards, so don't worry too much. And the side seam. Now what I'm going to do now is on this particular mannequin, you can see it's got a ridge around the armhole. You're going to follow that now for your armhole when you're actually cutting it out. Alright. So let's go from the top again. So there's your shoulder. Take it to the edge and just draw in your armhole. Again, you can address this later on. Okay, so I have now done that dotted line, and that's my front armhole I've got there. Find your side seam. And draw that in. Right the way down to the bottom. So you've actually drawn your front bodice in now. Oops, no I haven't. I need to do the neckline. That's quite easy because that will just go in the indentation there. So I've drawn my neckline. You've already got your centre front defined. You've got your neckline, your shoulder, your armhole, side seam and your waist and your 2 darts. So that now is ready for you to take off and copy into paper. Okay. Right, what we're going to do now, we're going to carry on and do the back bodice. So what I would like to do is just get rid of some of this surplus fabric. I know where my seam lines are going to be now, so I'm just going to chop that off and get it out of the way because it's a little bit annoying. Okay, chop that off. I'm just going to leave that side seam. What I will do now, get rid of some of this at the bottom. Just watch when you're cutting, you don't cut bits off you don't want. Alright, so I'm going to leave that now.